Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our Java programming tutorial series. And in this tutorial we are going to be covering mathematical operators in Java. Now there's multiple different mathematical operators as well as increment operators and that kind of stuff, so we're going to cover both of those types of operators. There's conditional operators as well, but we're going to cover those in the next tutorial where we will be covering conditional statements. So, what is a mathematical operator? Well, you can kind of think of a mathematical operator as like plus, minus, multiply, divide, modulus. Those are the mathematical operators that are most commonly used when you're doing a calculation. There's also the increment and decrement operators that are used for either incrementing or decrementing by 1 or by a defined value more that's greater than 1. So let's get started. So first off, let's say we have a few variables. We're going to say int person age is equal to 20, right? So we have that. And we want to say, oh, what's their age going to be in 50 years, right? Well, we can do that by having a plus. We can add 50 to it. We're going to say int future age. We're going to set that equal to what the value of person age is. In this case is 20 plus 50. And then we can system out print ln future age. And we can run this. And you can see we get 70 down in the console. But what if we want to see what their age was 5 years ago? Well, we would do minus, and then we would do a minus 5. All right. So we can run that. And then, as you can see, we get 15 down in the console. Now, what if we wanted to multiply something? How do we multiply something? Well, in order to multiply, you must do an x, right? No, that's not right. In programming, when you're multiplying, you have to use an asterisk. So you hold down Shift, press 8, and there's your asterisk. So now we're going to have 20 times 5, and we assign whatever that is to future age, which should be 100. So when we run this and save it, we get 100 down in the console, just like we expected. Now, division, there's really no special division symbol like you would find in your basic math worksheets in math class. You use the /. And with that, now we'll have person age, which is 20, and we'll divide that by 5. So we save this and we run it. We get 4. That is the exact expected response. Now, the next operator is modulus. You may or may not have heard of this because I know some schools don't teach it for some reason. My school definitely didn't. But what modulus is it's basically a mathematical operator that gives you the remainder of something. Right? So let's say we have 20, right? And we want to get the remainder of whatever 20 divided by 3 is. Right? So if we think about this, we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and then 21. So it doesn't even it goes above 20 after 18. So when we look at this, we should at that point get a remainder of 2. Right? So let's go up here to our calculation. How do we do a modulus? Well, a modulus is a percent sign. So percent and then a 5. So percent is a shift 5. We got that. Save this. And let's go ahead and run and save this. You can see it prints out 2, just like we expected it to. Because 2 is how much is left over when you try to divide 20 by 3. Now, what about the increment and decrement operators? Well, we can go ahead and get rid of this second variable. We don't need it anymore. What these 4 different operators will do is it will take the current value of your variable and then increment it by whatever amount you define, whether it be 1, 5, 3, whatever, and then assign that new value to the variable. So you don't have to do all that yourself. And the most simple increment operator and decrement operator is the plus plus and minus minus. Plus plus increments by 1, minus minus decrements by 1. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's go ahead and we go up where our person age is. Let's go ahead and do person age plus plus. What this will do is this is the equivalent to person age equals person age plus 1. That is what that's equivalent to. So once that's done, we can then go system out println and we'll say person age. Right. So there we go. Save this. And then we go ahead and run it. You can see it prints out 21 because after we do the plus plus, person age at that point is 21. Now, what if I want to take 1 away from it? What if I want to do that? Well, we just change the plus plus to minus minus, like that. And once we save it and run it, we should see 19. And there it is. We see 19 down on the console. And that's all fine and dandy. But what if I want to increment or decrement by more than just 1? That's where plus equals and minus equals comes in. So let's see how this works. So let's say we want to increment this value by 5. Well, we would do plus equals 5. And this is the equivalent of person age equals person age plus 5. That's what that's the equivalent to. Just like the plus when we had it there was the equivalent of person age equals person age plus 1, and minus was the equivalent of person age equals person age minus 1. The same concept applies for the plus equals and the minus equals, except instead of 1, we can define whatever value we want. So once we have the plus equals 5 in there, we should now see 25 after we save and run it. And there we go, we see 25. And if we minus equals 5, alternatively, we should see 15 once we save and run it. And there it is. We see 15. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat. These are often used when you need to, say, calculate a tip percentage, for example, or something of that nature. When you need to add a specific amount to another variable, plus equals, or subtract a certain amount from something, minus equals, in that case, are actually very useful. You'll find plus and minus used in loops, but we're not covering loops right now. Loops will be in the tutorial after the next one here. But yeah, just keep in mind these different operators, because these are very, very commonly used, very often used. So yeah, that basically does it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. See ya.